Hey everyone, Inkros here with another sketch talk. A lot of you have been asking me what's going on with Dragon Queen and why I haven't been updating it. Why on earth have I been putting out Spectral Lakes content when Dragon Queen's story is still unfinished? I wanted to go ahead and put together a comprehensive video talking about my current plans and ultimate goals for Dragon Queen and Spectral Lakes, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Let's begin. So, right now, Dragon Queen is on hiatus. Why is this? Well, first I want to clarify that Dragon Queen as a project is perhaps my biggest and most loved baby creatively. I will never be abandoning it, and I will always seek to have it as, I guess you could say, my magnum opus. I want to make sure it's as good as I can possibly make it, and that leads me to my first big point. Number 1, improvement. I like how the first book turned out, but geez, I still really need to improve my writing and drawing skills. I really love and appreciate the fact that so many people have been enjoying the story so far, but right now, the more I grow in both my artistic and literary skills, I look back at what I've done and think, I could really have done that better. This is most apparent with my artwork for the story. My ultimate dream for Dragon Queen is to have League of Legends quality artwork and designs for the characters and world, and right now my art is not up to that par. I need time to pause, think, and really work hard on improving before I continue. I've already been experimenting with styles as well as new rewrites and world-building improvements. I should also mention that when I wrote and published the first book, I didn't have the money to hire a professional editor. My mom and I did the best we could do to catch mistakes and fix bad sentence structure, but there are still a lot of flaws in the text that I want to get fixed. Speaking of publishing, number 2, publishing. The second big issue I've run into with Dragon Queen is trying to get it professionally published. The best way to get picked up by a big-time publisher is to first find a literary agent. About a year ago, I spent weeks looking up hundreds of literary agents and sending in query letters to them in the hopes that they would like me and want to represent me. Unfortunately, a great majority of them never responded, and those that did rejected my offer. I think part of this has to do with the fact that I need to improve my writing, and part of it is that long-form high fantasy YA fiction can be hard to sell. Most YA fantasy is modern or urban fantasy. In fact, a lot of the agents specifically said in their bios that they don't want fantasy. So that's a problem. This leads me to Spectral Lakes. Number 3, Spectral Lakes. Since Dragon Queen is going to take a bit of time to really refine, I thought I could start work on a project with a simpler, more digestible art style and theme. A lot of people like paranormal mysteries, and I was inspired by a lot of the true crime and paranormal videos I saw on YouTube, plus shows like Stranger Things, Gravity Falls, and video games like Until Dawn and Oxenfree to create Spectral Lakes. At first, my intention was to make a visual novel, but I felt like I couldn't tell the breadth of story I was looking for with that medium. So I transitioned to a webcomic, but that wasn't working out because of how very long it took to create updates and get the story actually moving. So then, I tried to pitch it as a show to a few networks. But without an entertainment agent, I was only able to pitch to Adult Swim and Frederator, and both of them told me they were looking for comedy shows, not drama. So then I tried the Kickstarter, and that didn't work out either. So I kind of spiraled into a funk. I had no idea what to do next. Then, as I kept looking through bookstores and thinking on it more, I decided on what to do. In order to help break into the literary market and also more quickly get the story out there, I would transition into making Spectral Lakes a long-form series of short 30,000-word novellas. Sort of like Goosebumps, but a bit longer and for YA audiences. Plus, they would be filled with illustrations, at least one per chapter, if not more. What you're seeing me currently draw is going to be in the book, in fact. Since I've already planned out so much of the story of Spectral Lakes, writing the first book has been a relative breeze so far. I'm currently 13,000 words in, and I started around a month ago. This time, I'm going to make sure to hire a professional editor or two to make a better query letter in order to find a literary agent. I suspect that presenting a YA paranormal mystery story will be a much easier sell. At least that's what I'm hoping. If I'm able to use Spectral Lakes to break into the market, that will be a perfect way to set Dragon Queen on its way to being a professionally published series. I adore Spectral Lakes, but that story isn't as long, winding, and utterly complex as Dragon Queen's is, and Dragon Queen as a whole is my top-tier dream project, as it were. I will never abandon it, nor give up on it. I guess the only thing I have to ask of you guys regarding this topic is to have patience with me as I try to fully discover my art and writing style for Dragon Queen. I can promise that this time will truly lead to a much better product overall. As I continue to work on these projects in the background, I'd like to put forward a question to you. What type of videos do you want to see from me? Sketch talks are pretty fun since I can use footage from my sketches and Procreate as background. I've been thinking of doing fan dubs and such too. Feel free to tell me what you'd like to hear me talk about. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Also, feel free to take a look at my Patreon. Link is in the description.